Hi guys. So in this video we are going to go over Scratch. I'm going to give you a quick overview of how Scratch works, and then we're going to start implementing the game in Scratch. But first let's see how it works, because it might be the first time that you are using Scratch, and so just to give you uh, a quick overview of the software. So first thing, I'm going to go over to Scratch site, and you need to register, you need to create an account so you can create your own stuff. And then after you have an account, you can press create to start a new project. Okay, so when you start a new project, this is the default template that they have, and let's see how this works. So basically you have a game area or a canvas, which is the one you can see here on the right, on the top right, and this is where the game happens. And inside the game area, you can place actors. This is what they call actors, which are here on the bottom. In this case, when you have the default template, you start with one actor, which is Scratch, which is this cat. And you can press the actors to move them around and place them where you want. And the game only runs, so this we are in the edit mode, and when you want to play the game, you have the controls here on top. So you have like this green flag, which is start the game. In this case, when we press start the game, that doesn't happen anything, because we don't have any code in our project. And you can also stop the game with this button. Here we have some controls just to change the layout of the interface, and you can also maximize the game window. And now let's see the properties of the actors. So you can see you can see that we can drag the actor, like I said before. Here you have the position of the actor in the play space, or in the canvas, or play area, what you prefer to call it. And you can see that if you place the actor 0, 0, it goes exactly in the center of the play area. So what this means is that the area, it has 480 pixels wide by 360 height, and the center of the play area is in the middle. So we have x and y is 0, 0 in the middle, and if we put, for example, on the to put a sprite on the right edge of the screen. So if it's 480, the total width, half is going to be 240. So to put it on the edge, it would be 240. Or if you want to put it on the left edge, since 0 is in the middle, the left edge is going to be 240, but negative 240. And the same thing works with the Y position. So the Y position, we have 360, 360 is 180. So if we place the position 180 is the top, on the top edge, and if you put minus 180, it's going to be the bottom edge. And this is how the coordinate system works in the play area. Now we have some other controls. We can show or hide the sprite. It's going to be useful because we don't want all sprites to be visible when we start the game. We'll go into that in the future videos. We have the size of the sprite, so you can just scale the sprite here if you want. And we have the direction of the sprite, which is the way that the sprite is facing. So by default, the direction is 90. So 0 is stop. And we have 90 degrees, which is right. And then you can just rotate the sprite if you need to. And you can also have these ones. I don't remember exactly what these ones do, but oh yeah, I remember now, sorry. These ones allow for a full rotation of the sprite. So you can rotate the sprite in how many degrees you want. These ones only allow to flip the sprite left and right. So you can see that I can change the values, but it only flips left and right. And this one does not allow rotation at all. Yeah, that's it. Oh, sorry, let me put back on the rotation. And then, like I said before, we have actors. So in this case, we have this cat called, you can change also the name of the sprite here if you want. Just a matter of organizing all the actors. Once you have like a lot of actors, it's really useful to rename them to proper names. And actors have three different things. So they have the code, you can see here on the top left. You can have code, they have costumes, and they have sounds. So code is where we edit what the actor can do, and for that we use these blocks that represent code, and we can use it to create all types of behaviors that this actor is able to do. Then we have costumes, and costumes are about what the actor looks like. So you can see that we can have several costumes. So in this case, the Scratch cat has the default costume and has another costume that you can see that it looks like it's walking. So these two costumes, like we saw on the video about the sprites, are used to make we can make a simple animation, like if the cat is actually walking, if we cycle through these two frames. We are not going to go over how to do this in this video, but we'll see on a later video how to do it. Also, when you are creating costumes, you have here this button where you can choose a costume and have different options. So you can upload a costume, and this means that you can upload any image to be a costume of this sprite. You can have a button for a surprise, I don't know. Let me see. Probably you just choose a random image that Sprite already has in its gallery. You can paint, so you can create an empty costume and just use these simple tools to create whatever you want. And yeah, there are like these simple tools like the paint, it's like the paint application on the software. So you can choose colors. You have like a brush. You have an eraser. You can paint a paint bucket, etc. And you can also choose a costume. And choose a Scratch has a bunch of costumes that you can use by default. And probably the surprise one came from here. Let me see. It was a diamond, something? No, it was not a diamond. A rock? I don't know. Let me see. It wasn't a diamond. Oh, yeah, here. It was a crystal, sorry. So when you press surprise, it just selected randomly the crystal, and that's what we had in that costume. So I'm just going to delete this because we don't want any other costumes. And you also have sounds. Let me check. Yeah, this is a cat sound, and you have simple tools to edit the sound, so you can make the sound faster, slower, louder, softer. You have all these options that you can edit the sound, and just like with costumes, you can upload your own sounds. You can have a random sound. You can record your own sounds, which is also pretty cool, and you can choose a sound from the gallery. And I'll go over into the blocks in a minute. But first, I forgot to say, when you are creating actors, just like with the costumes and the sound and everything, you have different options to create the actors. So you can upload a sprite. It works like it with the custom, so you can just upload a new image into the project. You can have a random one, you can paint a new one, or choose a new one. So let's choose a basketball. And I have a new actor, which is a basketball. It's gonna have its own costumes. Gonna have sound properly. Oh, it has a sound. Oh yeah, okay. Has two sounds. And you have another actor, so you have a Scratch and a basketball. And you can see when we select the actor, what we are seeing here is related to that actor. So you can see it has an indication here of what actor we are talking about. I don't know if the other ones have. No, the other ones don't have. Only the code. And now it's a basketball, and now it's a Scratch. Okay, I'm gonna delete the basketball because we don't need it. Oh, and also I have the backdrop. The backdrop is the background of our play area. You can have more than one background. You can see that you also have the options here. So you can upload an image for the background. You can random one, paint one, or search or choose a already existing background. So just choose something on a blue sky, and now we have a background. And also, just like actors, backgrounds also have different options. So you can apply code to background. You can apply actual code to background. So you can change the way it looks and put the background playing sounds. We'll go over it also in future videos. You can edit the backdrops, add new backdrops and everything. And the background can also have sound. In this case, has a pop sound. I don't know why, but that's okay. We are not going to use backdrops in our case, I believe so. But it's good to know that you can have it here. So if you have a game where you need to change the background, or the background needs to be moving, you can do something like that. And now let's just see a quick overview of the blocks. So blocks, you have different categories for the blocks. You have the blocks represent code, like different actions and different and allow you to create different logics with it. And you have a different categories. So you have blocks about motion. So for example, move 10 steps, turn I don't know how many degrees, go to a position, go to a specific position, to an X and Y position. You have all these options. You have looks. So these are blocks that you can use to change the costume of the sprite, or sorry, of the actor. Blocks about sound, so play this sound, play the another one, stop sounds, etc. You have events. These are one of the most important blocks, because these are the blocks that start the whole chain of events. I mean, the whole chain of behavior starts from these blocks. This is how the code that we are applying to an actor actually starts. And one of the most common ones is when the green flag is clicked or pressed. This means that, for example, if I connect this here, when I press the green flag, the actor will move 10 steps. And just to be clear, moving 10 steps is in relation to the direction that the actor is facing. So in this case, we saw that the direction is facing right. So when we say that it's going to move 10 steps, it's going to move 10 steps right. So if I start, it just moved a little bit to the right. That's correct. An important thing about this is that you see that each time I press the green flag, the actor will move 10 steps to the right, but it does not come back when the program stops running. So this is an important thing to remember, because usually when you are moving actors around and you want the actors to start on a specific position in the game, you always need to reset the position when you press the green flag. Because I don't know, at least I have this idea, or it's like something that I assumed it would work like this, because like, okay, the actor will start in this position. When I run the program, it will move 10 steps, and I would expect that when the program ends, the actor will come back to the initial position, but it doesn't work that way, so we need to do it manually. We'll see how to do it also. Another thing that you can also do is that you can test the blocks without running the program. So you have any block you can press, you can double click, and you can see that you are seeing how the block works. So turn 15 degrees. You can change all this. Let me just put the scratch. Okay, this. And so events. No, then you have like some other events that are also really important, like for example, when the space key is pressed. In this case, if you try to press the space key, you can see that it's running the block that is connected to it. If we don't connect the blocks, then it doesn't work. Oh yeah, and to add blocks, so you just drag the blocks from the list to this area, and then if you want to remove the blocks, you can just drag the block back to the list and it disappears. You can also press right click, sorry, and you can duplicate the block, add comments, I don't know, and delete the block from here. More things. You have control blocks. These are blocks that control the execution flow. We'll go over it also. Sensing blocks, which is about a sprite is touching another sprite, a sprite is touching the edge of the screen, something like that. Operators, these are the ones that have like math operators, so summing numbers, subtracting, multiplying, one value is greater than, stuff like that. You can create your own variables. You'll go into variables also in a separate video. I'm not going to explain what a variable is and why you would be using it. What I'm just giving you an overview and just to explain. I think that the best way to learn about all these blocks and everything is to actually being implementing something, and just learn as you need, learn the blocks and learn the concept as you need it. So I'm not going to explain the variable now. When we need a variable, you'll see why we need a variable and why the variable is useful. And you can also create your own blocks. I'm not going over it right now. More things. What is this? This is extensions. I'm not going to work with extensions in the video. Oh, you can zoom in and zoom out this area as well. So you can see. I'm using control and I'm pressing control and scroll, and it's the same as doing this right here. And this is the default zoom level. And what about controls that we have here? Oh, we have the backpack. The backpack is something that you can use when you want to reuse blocks of code. Like, for example, let me just add here a new surprise. Okay, I have a ball. Yeah. And now I would create something here. So this, repeat. So just to explain what this block does, basically when we click the green flag, so when the game starts, the Scratch will move 10 steps and we'll repeat that 10 times. So we move 100 steps. So if I do this, you see, so it repeats 10 times, and what's inside is gonna run that number of times. So you can see that Scratch moved a lot, move like 100. And if I want to use this on another sprite, I can save it in my backpack. You see, I have script here, and then I can just drag it to a sprite that I want to use it. I can also do it in a different way, not using the backpack. I can also just drag it directly to a sprite, and it copied the whole code into the sprite. But if I want to have it available, at all times when I'm adding new sprites and stuff like that, I can just put it in the backpack, so I can easily drag it to other sprites. I'm gonna close the backpack. And what else can I tell you? Oh, here you can change the language. Right now it's in English. I'm gonna keep it in English. Here you have some other options like save now. You also have here the status of the project in terms of if it's saved or not. And you can also press here when it appears save now, because if I change this, yeah, save now, see, you can just press, but it usually just keeps saving from time to time, so you don't need to worry about that usually, but it's always good to to save, or remember to save the project frequently. And you can give a name to this, so just call test, whatever. And you can see the project page, and this is how others will see your project on the Scratch platform. So you can write here some instructions, about your project. So if it's a game, so you can tell users how the game works and which keys they need to press. You can also add some more information here, and you have like some small details here, like how many people liked your project. Have a like and a star. Maybe a star is like how many people put your project in the favorites. And these ones, this is the remixes. this is something pretty cool that Scratch implemented, because you can see here that because it really creates this community around the projects. And so because everyone can share their own projects, and you can select any project you want. For example, this one, you can see that it's like a really complex project. For example, it's like a Flappy Mario, so Flappy Bird with the Mario. And you can see inside the project, so you can open the project and see inside the project, so you can see how everything was done, in the project, which is really cool to learn how to do some things that you need. And you can also remix the project, and remix the project will basically create the project as your own. We'll create the project now. I mean, we'll duplicate the project and create a copy on your own project, and then you can just edit the project as you want. So right now, if I come to here to my stuff, it's all the projects that you have in your account. You can see that now I have the project of Flappy Mario. I also have the last one that I just created, the test ones, and I have the other one, some other ones that I've been working on. So this is the one that we'll create. And head to retro. I don't know what's this. And I mean, that's it. This is like a quick overview of Scratch, how Scratch works and everything. And on the next video, we'll start actually implementing stuff in Scratch. So we'll import the sprites that we've created earlier, and we'll start doing adding some code to it. So see you in the next video. Thanks.